Rodas, and this is Software Reverse Engineering, exploring and analyzing its opportunities and legalities. What is the main issue? The main issue that it's frowned upon in the United States and it's actively prevented. Companies such as Apple and John Deere, if we're looking at is reverse engineering as a whole, hardware and software, have clauses and terms in their terms of agreement where customers, their consumers, are not allowed to modify or repair their purchased products in any way, making it so that you have to go to them to fix the issue. For example, if you're a farmer and you use John Deere equipment and it breaks down, you can't fix it on your own. You have to go to John Deere, be it one of their sponsored mechanics or dealerships, to fix the issue because you signed the agreement. That's what the issue stems from. And because of this, it could alter public perception when it shouldn't. Software reverse engineering should be promoted because of its benefactors that are going to be listed here in the presentation in these following sections, and all restated again in the conclusion. Background and significance in the modern world. To begin with, I'll give some context with SAS v WPL. SAS Institute is a US-based company that develops software dedicated to analytics of statistics. WPL wishes to create a similar software with the added ability of reading scripts created by users on SAS software. How is WPL able to do this? Through software reverse engineering. And why do they do it? Or what is the reasoning? Well, the same reasoning for reverse engineering in general. The purpose is to find out how an object or system works. And how is this relevant in the modern world? Well, the digital divide is a rift between those who have access to technologies and those who don't. And what WPL's mission is accomplishing is creating a cheaper alternative to users who weren't able to renew their license for SAS software, or new to SAS or new to analytical software, or they're again re-entering this software and trying to start again. And WPL seems like the cheaper alternative, bridging the digital divide, giving access to these people. That's how it holds relevance in this modern world analysis. So what are the benefits and concerns? The benefits, as mentioned previously, is the digital divide through bridging of gaps of old users, all new users through cheaper alternative. In addition is computer literacy. Software reverse engineering is not about trying to find out what the source code is. It's more about trying to understand the functionality and the measures that go into the program. So you could do this with a basic program such as Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint. You don't have to figure out the source code. You're trying to figure out how it works, what this feature does, what exporting it like this does, what inputting information from this program does. That's what software reverse engineering entails you to do. It's to be curious. And since you're being curious with these basic programs, it could be translated to other programs on your computer and other aspects of your computer, making you more yourself more literate with computers, which is a benefit because you're more knowledgeable, and you yourself are bridging the digital divide, even though you might not see it that way. So another benefit of software reverse engineering is the computing environment. And it's crucial in software maintenance, as software reverse engineering can help improve performance and other attributes to adapt the program or the product to a modified environment. What I'm saying here is that no program is 100% finished. There's always going to be errors and bugs that are going to be found. And it's not your fault. It's human error. You overlooked it or you didn't think of it. And in order to fix these errors, you have to use software reverse engineering. So test cases for the program input and execution and how it's functioned. You have to create a diagram and flowchart of the program for all its calls and functions, and you have to deeply analyze and have dynamic analysis to track and debug. All these are aspects of trying to understand, measure the program and what it's intended to do. So, software reverse engineering helps maintain software maintenance to a higher standard. And by keeping it at the higher standard, you are making it better for the developer, since it's going to benefit them in the long run, but also it's beneficial for the user since you're creating a safer, more secure computing environment for them. So, what are the concerns? Well, it's intellectual property. That's the main issue. SAS v WPL. As mentioned previously, SAS is a US based company, and much like Apple and John Deere, they have the clause in their terms of agreement that users are not allowed to software reverse engineer their product. WPL in their mission had to do the reverse engineering of SAS software. And SAS sued in the UK. UK ruled in favor of WPL because of the European Union Software Directive, which states that a person has the right to use a program, is entitled to observe, study, and test said program to determine its ideas and functionality. In other words, in the EU, you're entitled to reverse engineer the functionality and ideas and principles of a program that you've purchased. So the agreement WPL and SAS had was voided. SAS was unhappy with this resolution and sued WPL in the US. US courts disregarded UK ruling, and WPL had to pay an upwards of $79 million in damages, showing that companies are more concerned with their profit margins than they are with their users. So this issue has to be looked at ethically through utilitarianism, which is all social morals and government legislation should be aimed for producing the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people. Going back to the example, which parties are affected? The companies versus the people. Companies in question is SAS. SAS could have seen customer safety, risk, reselling of their branding of their products. That's how they might have seen WPL as a threat, and tarnishing of their brand reputation. But this is not the greatest number of people. This isn't society as a whole. The action of software reverse engineering SaaS software is not affecting society tremendously. What it's actually doing, it's benefiting them, because, as mentioned previously, it's narrowing that digital gap with the users that don't have access to SaaS software because of their finances. In addition, software reverse engineering can be looked at this small group of demographics, the elderly. Applying the core principles of reverse engineering, software reverse engineering, trying to understand the functionality of the program and its measures, the elderly can distinguish relevant from irrelevant information online through curiosity of computer programs and so forth. So, through utilitarianism, the consequences of software reverse engineering are greater and morally good, because it affects a greater number of people. It creates a greater number of happiness. It creates a greater number of utility. So what other applications do we see? Well, in law enforcement, it's relevant to be able to reverse engineer software. It's an indispensable tool to gather accurate data at a greater pace, greater accuracy, speed, and to further the investigation along. The Software Directive Act allows this. In the US, you have to get hold of the right owner, the copyright owner, which could be very time consuming. So in conclusion, relevance in the modern world, analysis through US and European law, elderly demographic, utilitarianism, applications, digital divide, law enforcement. Thank you very much.